Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to A Story of Hope. I'm your speaker, John Nodar. I go by JJ, hence Hota Hotak. Today I'm going to take on a journey back through space and time, the life of a young man who was last seen standing on the edge of the flight deck of the USS Midway, August 1989. Now, to understand how he arrived at that last moment of his life, we must go back to the beginning and walk this journey together. Over the years, I've had the pleasure of meeting his family, talking with his parents, and they shared with me three things over the years. Two of them I'll share with you now. The last one I'll share with you at the end. The first two actually happened before he was even born, before he even existed. The first one, when his mom was 16, she consecrated herself and the life of her future children to the Immaculate Heart of Mary and the Sacred Heart of Jesus. The second one was before he was born, she was pregnant with him, and while living in New York, fell down the stairs to the basement doing laundry. And she was going to lose the baby, and she prayed to St. Jude. So that's why the baby was named John Jude. Now, in order to be able to understand how he arrived at this last moment of his life, he actually grew up in Boise, Idaho, and there wasn't much going on, just a lot of potatoes. At that time, he decided to join the Navy based on the movie Top Gun. Went to boot camp in San Diego, and then he was stationed on the USS Midway, CV-41. Worked on the flight deck as a plane captain. Part of the flight deck gear, he wore a tan skull cap, brown vest, brown shirt, green cargo pants, and black boots. Life was pretty challenging for him over the years, and there was a time where he was in the Philippines that he almost got killed. Over the years, as of serving in the military and the Navy, there was a dark place that he encountered, which was in August 1989. In order to understand how he arrived at that last moment of his life, there were things that he went through over the years. For example, he got bullied when he was in high school. There were certain things that happened to him that caused him to, if you will, kind of fall into depression over the years. Growing up in Idaho, he knew what he wanted to do, but he just wasn't sure of what he wanted to do and how to do it. So that's why he joined the Navy. A lot of the times that he was overseas, it was working, and it was 12, 14-hour shifts, and the whole life being in the military, when you're on a cruise for 6 months at a time, you really don't see much other than your work and life on the ship. 12 to 14-hour days and then working duty shifts. So part of this time that led him up to that dark place was part of what he went through as a kid growing up, living in a different place, getting bullied in high school, and then being far from home. So over the years, those are just things that added up to him, and obviously mental health was always a big issue. He's always had a faith in God, a closeness, but over the years during the darkness, I guess some of the things happened based on maybe just falling away from God. A lot of that just happened to be part of what he fell into as far as a dark place. Now, during this journey, we will be going back in time so I can create the scene of actually his last moment in life where he was standing on the edge of the flight deck. So the first tour that he was on the USS Midway, where he was stationed in Japan for 2 years, from 1987 and 1989. During that time, he had worked on the flight deck. He had went through certain countries that he experienced, different cultures, different religions, different people, and it was an amazing experience that he shared with us. Part of life being on the ship, obviously, was 6 months at a time at cruises in the middle of the ocean where there was no land, there was no women, there was nothing in regards to life other than just working 12 to 14-hour shifts. And it was very challenging for a young man that was 18, 19. And part of life, as of going out to the different countries and ports, you would experience different things as far as anywhere outside the gate. They always had some kind of like drinking and partying, and it was just one of those experiences that he really didn't want to get involved with at the time. But as far as life being in the Navy, it was an amazing experience, being able to serve God and country. And then part of life now, that what he's shared with us over the years is something that we'll be sharing with you in Act 2. So as I conclude Act 1, we're going to show you the trailer, and I will return for Act 2, the conclusion, and for what life is going on today. It was a hot summer night, August 1989. He just finished working a 14-hour shift, and now he was going to be doing the duty shift, which was balls to 4, midnight to 4 in the morning. He was exhausted. He was physically, emotionally, and mentally drained. It was a dark place, standing on the edge of the flight deck. So hot, so tired. He walked up to the edge of the flight deck where the plank is and was just standing there. Cold cup of depression started brewing over him. He was looking for some kind of peace, but it was so dark. It was a place that he had never been, had never experienced. Standing on the edge of the plank, thinking about jumping, standing there, the thoughts coming in the head, the voices he heard saying, "Do it, jump, nobody loves you, you're a mistake, you're an accident, you should have never been born, do it!" The pain that he was feeling, The Dark Night of the Soul, if you will, is a book by St. John of the Cross, feast day, December 14th. His same birthday, December 14th. In this dark place, standing on the edge, the nose takes a sharp dive into the water. It was in the middle of the night. He lost his balance. The fear of falling overcame the thought of jumping. He crawled his way back to the bow from the plank, still feeling so sad and depressed, thinking about jumping. This pain has got to go. I can't do it. He was being pushed closer to the edge slowly. Something was pulling at him. Something was saying, "Do it! Jump!" He dropped down to his knees, ripped off his vest and said, "God, help me! I can't take this! I can't do it! Help me, God!" At that moment, there was a cool breeze coming across the bow. Again, middle of the night, August, the hot time of the year. And there was a cool breeze coming across the bow. And he knew that it was God. In his heart, in his mind, in his soul, in his body, having hope that everything was going to be okay, that he can live to fight another day. Ladies and gentlemen, that young man was me. Here it is, over 36 years later, being able to share my story, being able to share with others about hope, about faith, about believing in something bigger than yourselves, and having that attitude of gratitude that no matter what comes your way, you're going to find a way to get through it. That God, if you believe or not, is still there. Part of my experience in life, people might say, what does something that happened over 36 years ago have to do with life today? How can it be relevant? Someone like me might say, because. You have to have humor, you have to have life, because sometimes a pile gets so deep. There is no expiration date on hope, on faith, or statute of limitations on believing in something better than what you're going through at this time. No matter what happens in your life, you just keep showing up. As I share in my speeches and presentations and workshops, you have to have hope. You can't stop believing if you're a believer or not. There is something better as long as you keep showing up. Every day you get up is a good day. As long as I keep getting up and I'm not 6 feet under, I'm going to keep fighting. And again, having humor in life, sometimes during the dark times, you just have to keep showing up. Having that hope, and sometimes you got to fake it till you make it, that's okay. But you just keep showing up. I share with my people that you always have to attack the day 1 hour at a time. It's a battle of life. It's a spiritual journey. It's a physical journey, emotional. And it's an opportunity for you to show not only what people around you are, but what your God is and what you believe in, that you are going to make it. That no matter what comes your way, no matter what storms you face, there is hope. As I close, there are two things that I'd like to share with you. 3 words, 2 things. And I'm going to share with my ushers as they can give it to the people here. And what it is just a seed of faith. So what I have here, and I've passed them around, these are mustard seeds. So as you have faith as big as a mustard seed, that you can move mountains. And part of having hope and faith is believing that things will get better. So these are mustard seeds that are being handed around to the ladies and gentlemen here in the audience, because as a jokester in life and having humor, I always considered myself Johnny Appleseed. A friend told me that I'm incorrect. I should call myself Johnny Mustard Seed, because I'm planting seeds of faith. So the final words that I have with you is have a little hope, have a little faith, and have a whole heap of perseverance, that no matter what happens in your life, no matter what comes your way, that you're going to keep showing up and having that attitude of gratitude and believing in yourself that you will survive no matter what. Part of what my journey has led me to over the past 36 years is now helping others, planting that seed of faith, but mostly hope, letting people, if you're a believer, great. If you're not, that's okay, because we're on the ship called life together. And me being Navy, I guess I'm biased because SHIP as in Paul, not T as in Tom. So part of that in life, you just keep showing up. And the opportunities that you have to share your stories and experience with others make your life better and can also make their life better. So in closing, always believe in yourself. Don't ever lose hope, and don't ever lose your faith. Thank you for your time, and may God bless you always.